What is going on, everybody? GoofyRhexxi here, and hope everybody is doing well. And I wanted to talk about this subject here today, and it is, where does Omega Red rank amongst the other legendary characters in Marvel Strike Force? Obviously, we'll probably be caring about the other top tier legendaries in the game, but wanted to have this discussion with you guys. And I say discussion because I do want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on where Omega Red may actually rank amongst the top tier legendaries in the game. And I think we know who those top tier legendaries are, right? So we're gonna probably, what's it, Doc Ock, Adam Warlock. I would still put Ebony Maw, Phoenix, and definitely Jubilee there. I think some of these other legendaries have fallen off. Black Bolt, unless you're using them to unlock Ebony Maw, or unless you actually have a really good red star. So I don't think that he's a necessary character that you need to invest into here. Star-Lord, unless I'm using them in RTA with Doom, I'm not really doing much with Star-Lord, to be honest with you. Invisible Woman, yeah, she was using Dark Dimension 4, but let's keep it real. You're not investing into her anymore unless for nostalgia reasons. Iron Man, man, I forgot he was even on my roster, to be honest with you. Some of y'all probably thought the same way. Nick Fury, relevant because you need him to unlock Omega Red, and you will need him to eventually bring him up to level 70, 75, gear tier 14, just to be able to get that unlock right of Omega Red. And then of course Magneto. But yeah, let's go back to Nick Fury. So Nick Fury he was used to be used in Doom raids, right? But now Shang-Chi is taking that place. So kind of kicked him to the curb a little bit, other than being able to use him to unlock Omega. Magneto, same thing. Older character, don't need him. Good if you want to invest into him for nostalgia reasons, but otherwise just understand that your mutant gear is probably better served somewhere else. Shuri still has value. I will say that. Shuri still has value because I'm using her in these Doom 2 raids right now with Minerva and Doc Ock, who's on this list, right? Doom and Kestrel. And yeah, being able to have defense up on turn 1, being able to have the ability energy is good. She doesn't last long enough though, because her health pool, it's been power creep, man. It's kind of crazy. But the top tier legendaries, like I said, Phoenix, Jubilee, Ebony Maw, Adam Warlock, and Doc Ock. Where does Omega Red land amongst this group? I think that Omega Red is probably going to be the second best legendary in the game. And I'm going to talk about that. Talk about the reason why I think he's probably the second best legendary in the game. So Jubilee, of course. So let's start off with Phoenix, right? So Phoenix, I think a lot of players are now going to be making a decision as to whether or not you're going to be using Phoenix or Omega Red in Dark Dimension, because both of them do have the health steal. But I think the reason why you're probably going to use Omega Red instead is because Phoenix is one of those older characters. She's a 6-star legendary unlock. You have a situation too where her bonuses don't carry over into Dark Phoenix. 25% is still 25%, but now with Omega Red being in place, if you're planning out for like Dark Dimension 3, Dark Dimension 4, you're probably going to want to go with Omega Red if you can get them. You're probably going to want to go with Omega Red as opposed to going with Phoenix. Phoenix does still do a lot of good damage, and she actually does have a few of the things in her kit that make her valuable in Dark Dimension. However, like I said, she's one of those older characters, and unless she does get a rework, like she's rumored to be getting a rework, all speculation, then you're probably going to be making a decision with Omega Red over Phoenix. Ebony Maw, I still think carries a lot of weight, a lot of value. I think that his health pool, it's diminished. In terms of where the game content is right now, his value has diminished a little bit, right? I still think kit wise, he's pretty good. He spawns with death proof. You're going to be able, so he's going to be able to stay alive for a little bit. You're going to be able to use that health steal and on this ultimate ability. You're still getting that defense up. Your offensive down in the allies in Dark Dimension. That's a big deal. There's a lot of things that in Ebony Maw's kit that I think make him still a valuable character and make him one of the top tier legendaries in the game. But I definitely wouldn't put him over Omega Red. But I do still think that value wise that Omega Red still stands out as one of the top tier legendaries in the game. Jubilee, as a Dark Dimension character, she's okay. I think that obviously where she stands out is in raids, but raids are such a big part of this game right now because you need that to get teal gear. If you're doing Doom 2 raids, you need it for Doom 1, Doom 1.1, you need those blue ISOs, right? If you're even other raids, like she's still good in Greek raids. I'm finding that for some of those mutant sections or mutant sections, she's still a valuable character there. So she definitely stands out as one of the top. Kit wise, she's very good. Offense down, the stun, the turn meter rewind, one of the ultimate ability. Listen, she's still a damn good character. So she stands out as one of the top tier legendaries in the game. And you also need her to unlock Adam Warlock as well. So definitely kind of some multifaceted usage that you can use here. And in War, the X-Men team is amazing in War as well. So Jubilee still a standout that you can use, not an arena character, but because she can be used in raids, because she can be used in War, I still think that she stands out as one of the top tier legendaries in Marvel Strike Force. Now we get to some of these other characters here. Now Doc Ock, we largely thought was going to be a War character only, right? That changed pretty quickly as we continue to start to assess Doc Ock. He was able to be an arena character for a long time, and right now he's definitely still probably one of your top recommendations for any legendary section in Dark Dimension. Even for Dark Dimension 5, I'm still thinking he's probably right up there amongst the list of characters that you're going to want to bring in. I think Doc Ock is there. If it's not for anything else other than just this one line in his passive, right? Gain 10,000 resistance against offense down, himself and in other allies. This dude stands out as definitely a stalwart usable character. He can also give you blocks, opportunities in your content. I'm using him right now in raids. He's amazing as a three-headed monster with Doom and with Kestrel right now in these Doom raids. I just think that Doc Ock is a very valuable character in this game. He's a very good plug and play character, I think, in all game modes. Great support character. Not gonna be a damage dealing monster, but a great support character for your other characters that you want to keep alive in any sort of gaming content here. And then we have Adam Warlock. Right now, Adam Warlock, we thought, dude, he's only gonna be good on Infinity Watch. He didn't seem to make Infinity Watch that much better. But of course, now we found out that if Infinity Watch doesn't have Adam Warlock, you have no chance of being able to be Heroes for Hire. Adam Warlock now, dude, I'm using Adam Warlock in my Doom 2 raids, and I'm having a lot more success using Adam Warlock and not using Doom. I'm having a lot more success right now with Adam Warlock because of his ability to prolong negative effects, with Cloak and Dagger being there, prolonging those negative effects. I'm having a lot more success with him being able to stun. He can also apply ability block, and then he's disrupting the enemies, enemy protectors. He's disrupting them so that they can't taunt. Dude, he's a sensational character. There's only one node in these Doom Mystic raid nodes right now where I do use Doom, but for the most part, all these other nodes, Adam Warlock is a standout. He's on the best arena team in the game in Infinity Watch right now, and he's also on. We know about War. His team can beat other teams in War as well. So of course, I think he stands out there as probably, I would say, he might be the best legendary character in the game just because of his multifaceted usage and the team that he's on and he's being used. He might actually be the best legendary in the game when we assess all of it in its entirety and what he's able to do. But then we have Omega Red. Now, Omega Red does a lot of great things too, right? He has a health steal on pretty much basically every single one of his abilities, or all of his abilities as a health steal. He's able to prolong negative effects, similar to Adam Warlock. Now, Adam Warlock can prolong all negative effects except for ability block and stun. Omega Red, he prolongs only negative effects that he actually prolongs are bleed, slows, and then often sounds, which are actually pretty damn good debuffs, but kind of similar kit. Now with the special ability, he can apply trauma and then also apply ability block as well. And of course, we have that health steal again. With this, he can also apply offense down to the primary and adjacent targets. That makes him pretty relevant as well there. Ultimate, he's able to flip all positive effects. And then on top of that, he's applying ability block. He's applying slow. He's applying heal block. He's doing speed bar reduction. And of course, that offense down again. Now, the one weakness that I would say about Omega Red is, well, there's a few. It's trauma. Trauma is actually right now he's outside of War, he can only apply trauma with one ability, which is a special ability. So apply trauma here and also apply ability block. So that's kind of, it's a really good debuff, but you can only do it with one attack outside of War. Additionally, I'm not sure I like how trauma works right now, because trauma, it expires at the beginning of the enemy's turn. I would like it in a situation where if I apply trauma, I want trauma to stay there at the beginning of their turn and probably not come off until the end of the enemy's turn, right? Because let's say I apply ability block. If they're clearing ability block right on the onset, then how effective really is trauma at that point? So I think that is something that they need to look at here in terms of the mechanics of how trauma works. But the point is that he actually only applies trauma on one of his abilities outside of war, and I think that if he applied trauma on other abilities outside of war, that he might be a little bit better. Now, maybe trauma, you might be okay with how trauma works, but I'm just making the assessment here that I think it would have been nice if he was able to apply trauma outside with a few other attacks here, and the trauma actually worked a little bit different than it actually does in the game right now as well. But in other content, he's not a standout, right? In arena, we haven't found a hybrid team yet that he can work on where they can actually do well in arena. Omega Red is not a standout in arena, and arena is a very important part of the game. Because he's a mutant character, he's really also not necessarily viable in raids as well, right? Because if you're doing Doom raids and you're using the X-Men team, then most likely you're probably going to want to continue to use a full X-Men team as opposed to using Omega Red, because Omega Red, you can replace Kitty Pryde and use Omega Red, but you're losing some of the heals. You're losing the ability here to actually, apart from the heals, yeah, you have also with Kitty Pryde, she's applying the evade, and then she's also giving defense up to the most injured X-Men ally. So I mean, you're kind of losing that as well. This little bit of sustain from that Kitty Pryde can provide for the team. But additional to that too is that once the team starts rolling and they start getting kills, Omega Red might not even take a turn because of the turn meter, right? So it doesn't really matter. Omega Red can kind of just be a sitting duck there. Now, a lot of what he does, flipping those negative effects, all that stuff in the kit can be valuable, but you're probably still better off using an entire X-Men team there as well. And because of the way Arena is structured right now, Omega Red doesn't have a place right now. Now, moving forward in the future, Omega Red, Adam Warlock, probably going to be a good two-headed monster here with probably Dormammu, maybe Cloak and Dagger, probably maybe Cersei and Icarus or Icarus, whichever one you want to call it. That they're probably going to be he's probably going to be a little bit more relevant then, because to counter Dormammu is going to be trauma and stun, right? That's probably where you're going to probably have the best option to be able to do that. So therefore, yes, he's probably going to be a future arena character, but as it stands right now, if we're evaluating this based on where else can he be used, he's primarily right now a war character and a character that you can use in Dark Dimension, and that's pretty much basically it. And when I look at the entirety of the game, Adam Warlock is a character that you can use in arena, in war. You can also as well use him in raids. So damn it, Adam Warlock may actually be the better legendary in the game, and I will probably put Omega Red as the second best legendary in Marvel Strike Force. Like I said, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are in regards to where Omega Red lands on your list, in regards to where, like, do you think he's probably the second best legendary in the game, in my opinion? I still think Adam Warlock stands out. I like what Omega Red does with his kit, but I still think that because of the versatility of Adam Warlock, I think that might make him a little bit better of an option, or might make him the best legendary. Now, granted, all these legendary characters, the top tier legendaries, are useful and largely impactful, but wanted to talk about where Omega Red ranks amongst these other legendary characters. But listen, appreciate you guys watching the video. Want to know what your guys' thoughts are in regards to where you think Omega Red lands. Do you think that he's the best legendary character in Marvel Strike Force? Leave it in the comments and let me know, guys. But until next time, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Whew. That was a mouthful.